What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. All right, now let's get into it. All right, guys. So we are back with another video, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Anime Awards. They're hosted by Crunchyroll, and this is basically like an award show for anime in 2020 or last year. There wasn't a lot of anime that came out in 2020, so I am a little disappointed in the nominations this year. I'm not overly angry because there wasn't that many crazy animated that came out in 2020, so I kind of understand, but I still think that a lot of the Crunchyroll nominations were a little bit repetitive in some places that some of them shouldn't be. So without further ado, let's get into the categories. So the first one is Anime of the Year, and then there's a lot of anime that I would say kind of passed the mark for Anime of the Year. Before I get into it, I would say the top five for me would probably definitely be ReZero, Jujutsu Kaisen, The Great Pretender. I would say Rental Girlfriend, and then Murder no Nana. I think those would be like my top five for this year. Everything else, I thought it would like Fire Force and God of High School. I thought they were cool, but they just didn't really have that many interesting moments, or the story wasn't that much going on. So that's kind of why those are kind of my top five and what I think that would be nominations for my choice. But this is a predictions video, so we're gonna see what they have here, all right? So the nominees for Best Anime of the Year would be Keep Your Hands Off Ishizoken. I haven't watched that one at all, but I've heard very good reviews about that. It's about people. It's about like these three girls that do anime, or they're trying to make their own anime, and it shows their creative process of how they're trying to do it and everything. And I heard that there was a pretty good anime to watch. Great Pretender, that was one of the ones that was in my top five. Jujutsu Kaisen, Dorohedoro, and Beastars, and the Power Ranman. Okay, so we're gonna go off predictions. We're not gonna go off of my top five. If I had to give it to somebody, I would probably give it to Great Pretender, because I would say that anime has everything. It has everything. It has action. It has romance. I didn't even when I first saw this series, I didn't even think it was anime. I thought it was an anime movie, not like an anime series. So I would say Great Pretender, but I also don't think that many people knew that this was a thing, because not a lot of people go to Netflix for their anime. So I don't know if I feel like a lot of Crunchyroll's votes depend on popularity. So I would definitely say that the prediction for anime of 2020, the best one, would probably be Jujutsu Kaisen. I would say the only one that's even close to getting to the popularity of Jujutsu Kaisen is Beastars. I mean, it's Crunchyroll, so I feel like a lot of their votes are based off of what anime people have seen. So I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen is probably going to be the anime of the year. So getting into it, we got best protagonist. We have Natsume. I really wasn't into Decadence, so maybe that's just me, but Decadence just was not it for me. So I'm not really sure about this one, but I don't think it's gonna be one. Katarina Klaus. I haven't watched that one. And it's Voltagod. Haven't watched. Shoyo Hinata from Haikyuu. Haven't watched. Haven't watched. And this is like the only. This is the only. Well, I've watched this. These are the only two people that I know, and I feel like it's either between Yuji or Hinata, because this is probably gonna sweep most of the awards, because for some reason Crunchyroll just decided to put Jujutsu Kaisen in every single category. I mean, I don't think they're deserving of being in almost every single category, but it is what it is. And Haikyuu, so I feel like Yuji is a good protagonist, but I wouldn't say he's worthy of protagonist of the year. I appreciate Jujutsu Kaisen, but I don't think Yuji is that, is that big of a character in the actual series itself. So I would probably go with Hinata because I have no idea what Haikyuu is about, but a lot of people love Haikyuu, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people like Hinata. So I'm just gonna go with that one. I know Haikyuu is a really really big series, but it's kind of I haven't watched most of those, so I feel like that would be the best. So we have Ain from Dorohedoro, Sukuno, Soma, Rachel, Ikdina, and Overhaul. So this one is a really really interesting category. I think that Crunchyroll actually did a good enough representation of the nominees in this one. I think that almost all of these nominations are pretty good picks, except for except for maybe Ekdina. I don't think she was really that much of an antagonist at first. Like she wasn't really stopping the progress of Subaru. If you guys think she is a protagonist or antagonist, let me know in the comments below. But I don't really think Ekdina was a protagonist. An antagonist. She's just kind of seeing what Subaru can achieve on his own. She just wasn't giving him help. Like that's basically what I felt the relationship between them was. I didn't think she was like forcing him or getting in the way of his goals. She just wasn't giving him help. That's what I think. That's what I'm thinking about. But I would definitely have to give it. If it was my pick, I would definitely have it to give it to Tower of God. But Overhaul is also in the same category. And then I feel like a sleeper hit would be Dorohedoro because a lot of people really love this anime. So this one is a very competitive category basically, and I think that it could either go. I feel like it's either Rachel or Overhaul. Like it's like 50-50. So I'm gonna do the 50-50, and I'm gonna say Rachel just because I liked this character a lot more than I did Overhaul. I thought Overhaul was a good character, but it's nothing about his backstory or nothing about his goals really attracted me to a certain extent. I didn't think that anything that he had to offer was like we had Stain before Overhaul, and I feel like Stain is just such a better character, even though that guy only had like 3 episodes to his name. So the Overhaul, it just doesn't, he just doesn't fancy. I don't fancy him. All right, so we have Best Boy, and these are the nominees. We have Kaimon, Gojo, Kun, Legushi, Hinata, and Anos. So Best Boy is kind of different from Protagonist. Protagonist, you have boys and girls, but the protagonist is like they're the main character, they're the ones progressing the story, and Best Boy is just really like did this guy did trying to get the side characters and then trying to get all of the people in there that that are not protagonists at heart, and they're just trying to. I feel like Best Boy is just it's just about emotions and how do they make you feel and who are the popular characters. So for this one, I would think it has to go to Gojo. I don't really see any competition in this one for Gojo. Maybe Legoshi, but I feel like it has to go to Gojo. Maybe there's a slight chance it's a Legoshi, but I feel like it's gonna be Gojo like 100%. And then for best girl, we have Kanamori, Mizuhara, Noi, Katarina, Abigail, and Kaguya. So a lot of these I did not watch, and I've read 3 of them. I've read Rent a Girlfriend, or no, not read. I've watched Rent a Girlfriend, Kaguya-sama, and Great Pretender. And as we were saying for Best Boy, I feel like Best Girl is a lot of how the emotions you feel, the emotions. It's kind of they're kind of playing off the emotions you feel. when you interacted with the character when you first saw them, or how popular they are. And I really think that for me, I would probably say Chizuru, because I feel like she was a really good character. But I definitely know it's gonna be Kaguya. Like, people love Kaguya-sama. I'm not really a big fan, but I know Kaguya-sama is gonna, or Kaguya Shinomiya is gonna win this. So we have best opening sequence. All right. So this one is, I feel like opening sequence is always suggestive. People have different ideas of good and different ideas of what song and how does the opening should look like. So I feel like this is just gonna be, it could be any one of them, to be honest. I don't think any. I haven't seen this one, and I haven't seen this one, and I don't think I've seen this one. So I've only seen half of them, and it's just gonna be, what people think is the most popular, probably. And I think it's either between Kai Kai Kenton or Daddy Daddy Do. So I mean, Haikyuu might have some chance, but I feel like it's either Jujutsu Kaisen or Kaguya-sama. Those were like the two most popular anime last year. So it's just gonna, off principle, it's Crunchyroll. It's gonna go off of that. So I feel like I'm gonna give Kaguya-sama a chance. I think that Kaguya-sama might win this because I've heard it before, and it's a pretty good opening. Even though I love Jujutsu Kaisen, I think Jujutsu Kaisen is a better opening in like general. I think that Kaguya-sama might win it. Oh, best ending sequences now. So I've seen Lost in Paradise, The Great Pretender, Night Running, Dorohedoro. Well, I haven't seen these. I haven't seen these two. I haven't seen these two either. So I think this one's gonna be Great Pretender, just because look at this name right here, Freddie Mercury. You think he can win against Freddie Mercury? And just the sequences that they've animated in the ending as well, just to go with Freddie Mercury, it's like 100% match. I don't really know any other anime that could catch up to this ending from Great Pretender. It was just so good. I don't think any of these could even like touch the uniqueness of the Great Pretender's ending. So then we got the voice actors. I'm only gonna do the Japanese one because I just don't watch dub at all. So who do they have? They have Hanako, Rihu, Subaru, Gojo, Sayaka, and Daisuke. For this one, I think I'm gonna go with my opinion because I don't really know how they're gonna, how uh, how the fans are gonna react to who has the best VA performance. For this one, I'm gonna go this for Subaru because I feel like Subaru. There's like a lot of vocal range you have to voice Subaru. Just the amounts of crying and like screaming and like death cries that he has. Like I feel like the person that does that puts a lot of work into to make Subaru feel real, and you can feel his pain, his emotions whenever he's talking. So I kind of feel like Subaru kind of took the cake. For me personally, I haven't heard the others. Voice acting doesn't really depend on popularity, but this is the one that I've heard, and I feel like it could go either way. Because I've not, I've voice acting is probably one of the toughest to say. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip over English voice acting. I haven't heard, and then so we have best director. For me, this is gonna kind of going to be a hard character category for me because I feel like directing is it's kind of hard for me, I guess, because the you don't really know the subtle things that the director is putting onto you. I guess the director controls what you see basically, and I guess for me, I would have to say it would go to Tower of God. It would definitely go to Tower of God for me, because I just love how that anime was crafted and made. I haven't read the original source material, but I just love the way Tower of God was story wise, and I'm assuming that's because of how the director directed the anime. And so I think that Tower of God would take it. It could also be Great Pretender. So I feel like it's either between Great Pretender or Tower of God. My personal pick is Tower of God, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think that Great Pretender would take it because just of how crazy this anime is compared to all the rest of the anime this year. I feel like Great Pretender would take it easily. And then we have Best Animation. And I think we all know who won this. I don't even have to look at the nominations. We all know God of High School won this. Even though it's not it's great animation. Like I could tell they put a lot of work behind this because you just don't see animation like that in anime. Like I feel like this was like the first time I saw crazy animation like that, except for like maybe One Punch Man and Naruto on very very special cases. So I feel like God of High School takes the cake. I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen is close, but no cigar. I feel like God of High School was way above the criteria for everybody to catch up. And then we have best character design. I really really know for this one because as I haven't really watched all of this. I feel like this is a category we have to watch all of it to really bring in the scope. But I would say Great Pretender would probably take it because everybody looks unique. Everybody has distinctive style for the type of look they're going for. So I would say that just because I don't know all the anime. And then we're gonna get into the best fight scene. Okay, so we're gonna get into some fighting. So we have Gojo versus Sukuno. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good, but I don't think anybody thought that was the best fight of the year. I don't think that's gonna get anywhere near. I think it's really good, but best fight of the year, I don't really think so. We have Jin Mori versus Jago Tyke. For this one, I'm not sure. Like, what's the scope? Are they talking about the first time they fought? Are they talking about the second time they fought? Are they talking about the final forms they had? There's a lot of times they fought, but I would assuming they're talking about the final fights. And then we have Sword Art Online, Curly versus Dark God Vecta. I have no idea what they're talking about, but I bet a lot of people voted for this just because of Sword Art Online. People love Sword Art Online. Deku versus Overhaul, Jin Mori versus Handoi, and then Brawler versus Master. I feel like the only one that's probably out of the picture is this one, because I remember watching this and it just didn't seem like it had good animation to me. So I don't know if the fight scene was that good. And then I would say this one as well. I just didn't like it. I would say Deku versus Overhaul is out as well, just because of the fight scene was good, but it's kind of due to the story. I feel like the fight scene only lasted like what 2 minutes. That was he just destroyed Overhaul. So I feel like Deku versus Overhaul isn't that great of a fight scene. It's just domination. It's not fighting. It's domination. And then so I would probably either have to say one of the God of High Schools or Sword Art Online. It is Crunchyroll, so I do think majority vote is gonna have a big play. But I do think that Jin Mori versus Huan Dai was probably one of the best fight scenes I've ever seen. So I think I'm confident in that one. I think that Jin Mori versus Huan Dai is gonna be a really good uh, pick. I think that a lot of people are gonna pick this one just because of the importance it had in the story, and then just how like effortlessly the animation looked. It didn't look like it was trying too hard. It just looked like it fit, and then how they also had like the art panel intertwined into it. I just thought it was a really good fight. Okay, we have best drama. We have Fruit Basket, Great Pretender, Japan Sinks, Sing Yesterday, Somali, Beastars. This is a hard one because I think it's three possible ones. I think it's either Beastars, Japan Sinks, or Great Pretender. I really think this is a hard one. I would have to say, I feel like Beastars takes it by a little bit. I didn't watch Japan Sinks, but I know that people rate it highly. But I feel like Beastar takes it. I don't think Great Pretender is that much of a drama per se. It didn't really strike me as a drama, so I would have to go for Beastars for this one. And I know Japan Sinks is probably going to be like at least runner up, or it's probably going to be the winner. But I think that most people will pick Beastars. Best comedy: Kaguya-sama, 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 Kaguya-sama. I don't think anything else is gonna come close to it. Even though I didn't really like the comedy to Kaguya-sama. Kaguya-sama is everybody loves Kaguya-sama, so I'm just gonna give it to it. So best score. This one's gonna be hard because I really like Great Pretender's score. I thought it was really good. Just like it was like so jazzy and soul like. I really liked the Great Pretender score. But then the Tower of God score. Whenever the music was coming on, bro, you knew something was going on. It just really set the mood in Tower of God. So I think it's either between these two because I haven't seen Beastars. I haven't seen these other two. God of High School, I don't think I really realized. It was like techno, electrical. I just didn't really, get the vibe in God of High School. But Tower of God and Great Pretender, I feel like are the two that stand out in this, and I would have to give it to Tower of God. I love the Great Pretender score, but I think that Tower of God, I feel like everybody remembers the piano in Tower of God. I think everybody remembers the. I think everybody just remembers that. It's so catchy. So that's why I think Tower of God would win it. So best couple, I'm not gonna really spend too much time on this. I think it's Rent a Girlfriend. Like it's in the title. You know they're gonna do some justice to it. So like it's Suzuha and Kazuya. It was just funny, even though they're not exactly a couple. But I feel like people are gonna go for that one. So best fantasy. Um, I don't. I haven't seen these three. I do think that Dorohedoro has big competition. It might win actually. Tower of God, I don't think would win this because you don't really see mythical, fantastic creatures in Tower of God that much. Even though most of the characters are, I don't think it was that fantasy like. So I would either have to go with ReZero or Dorohedoro, and I would say ReZero, just because of all the crazy shit and magical stuff that was going on in that. I feel like ReZero really hits me as fantasy. So yeah, that's basically it. Let me know what you guys would have predicted. Basically, if you guys didn't know, this video was about me predicting what is gonna win in each category. And if you guys were paying attention, I didn't like watch all of the anime that are in this, but I feel like they could have diversified a lot of the nominees. Like I didn't think that Jujutsu Kaisen needed to be in so many of them. I think ReZero needed a little bit a better of a showing. They have Ikdina right here, and then they also have Subaru somewhere. And then they had the fantasy thing, but I feel like they were kind of underrepresented for how big of an anime it was last year. Even though it's not finished, I do think that it was a really big anime that came out this year, and a lot of people loved it, and it's just not really represented as well. And I do think that a lot of there's like no shonen. I feel like there should always be a shonen category because that's the majority of people watch anime for. They watch it for shonen. So I feel like dropping the shonen category kind of does a disservice because a lot of people are going to be talking about where's Black Clover, where's One Piece, where's Boruto. There's gonna always gonna be those people that are like, where are the shows that I watch every day, in and out. So I know there's gonna be those type of people, and I do agree with them. There should at least be some mention of a shonen category, or shonen nominees. There just wasn't that many. Yeah, and I think that, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think should win Anime of the Year. I definitely think Jujutsu Kaisen is gonna win it, just based off of anime trends and what people popularity. It's just because I think Crunchyroll is they say they have judges, and then they say they do judges 50 and then popularity vote 50. But I really think that maybe the judges are you know maybe the judges are going off the popularity vote, or maybe the judges are more likely to trend towards the fans because they're in that culture. Or I really don't know, because I feel like a lot of the Crunchyrolls in the past are just based off of popularity vote. So I would, by that logic, I would say Jujutsu Kaisen would take it. Runner up would be Great Pretender for me. I feel like that has a decent chance to take it, but I just believe that Jujutsu Kaisen is gonna take it. Yeah, so let me know in the comments below what you guys think will win this year, and give it a like if you guys liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one.